Hi, I'm Paul Brodie. We're back in the shop. My throat's feeling much better today. Mitch behind the cameras, thanks for tuning in. We have a stem. In the spring of this year, I made a batch of stems. I said it was the last batch I was going to make because I'm basically out of quill tubes, and there's some other reasons too. I don't want to make stems anymore. I sold them all over the place, and some went to Germany. And there is a guy in Germany who purchased this stem. His name is Alex, and the stem here in question, it's been talked about quite a bit. He wasn't happy with the stem. He says that the stem is misaligned. I have a letter from Alex. I think it is not up to your standards. Whoa. So I heard through a good friend of mine that he was on the internet on a forum, and he was talking all about this and the crooked stem and my standards and all that, and I didn't respond. I didn't even look there. So I didn't want to get involved in that. I said, if you're not happy with the stem, send it back. I'll give you a refund. So that's what has happened. So this is the story of the stem. Every stem which is handmade out of steel, welded, brazed, as you braze it up, it's pulling a little bit. It's not going to be perfect like an aluminum stem, which is CNC machined. So the question is, how much out of alignment is acceptable? I've been making stems for 39 years. I have never been questioned on the alignment of a stem. No one has ever complained in 39 years. So I told Alex this, and he sent me back the stem. So what I'd like you to do is to get some number in your mind of what might be acceptable. Is it 1 degree? Is it half a degree? Whatever. Please get some number in your mind, because then we're going to measure it and talk about it. Alex says that when he puts the stem into a vise like this, what he did is he put it in a vise. It's got the paint on it and all that, and he's got it level. And then what he did was to put it up here, and he goes, oh, it's not the same. So it's out of alignment. So he says that it's higher on the left side. He says that this bar, if he had a bar which was 660 millimeters, the left side is 4 millimeters higher than the right. So we're going to go over to the mill now, because I didn't even want to think about this. I did not want to get into a discussion of using a spirit level on checking alignment. I don't think it's very accurate, but that's how the stem ended up here, because the spirit level told him something. See, this has, on the handlebar tube here, half of it is cut away, so you don't have a whole lot of a surface there, which you can measure off. So what I've done here, I got a tube. This is an inch tube. It mimics the handlebar very well. I used this when I made the mantis stem. So we'll put that in there, and we'll put an Allen screw in there to clamp it down well. Then we're going to go over to the mill. We're doing shop time today. I wanted to show you a part of the process of how I make a stem. I take the handlebar tube, I miter the extension tube, I weld it on, and then I put it in the vise here. And then I angle the head, and then I use a hole saw, and that's how I get the two miters to be perpendicular to each other. So like I said, no one in 39 years has ever complained. What we're doing here, I've got the digital readout hooked up, and I've got a 1/2 inch hardened and ground piece of metal. I'm not sure where it came from. So I'm going to use the Z-axis here, and I'm going to measure one end. I've got it clamped to the table here with that inch tube that goes right through the handlebar tube. I can't make it more accurate than that. In the chuck here, I've got a 1/2 inch rod. It's hardened, it's ground, so it's a nice surface on the bottom. I'm going to bring it down, and then I'm going to zero the Z, and then I'm going to move it up to this end, and we'll see what the difference is. We got 13.5 thou. Okay, let's say 14. Now, I didn't know how to calculate what the angle was, so I talked to my friend Scott Taylor. He's on the island. He's a smart guy when it comes to formulas and tangent and this and that. And he says that that angle there is 0.2 of 1 degree. So it's not even out 1/2 a degree. So that raises the whole question of what is acceptable for alignment. I would say that this is acceptable. It's about 1/2 of what Alex said it was. So what we're going to do now is to see if we can align this. That was 0, this is 13, so this has to come up. So I'm going to move this, I'm going to put a bar on this, and then we're going to see if we can align it. It's just for my interest, because I'm not in the habit of aligning stems. I've got a steer tube that fits over very nicely. I've rounded, I put a radius on the inside so I don't put any marks here. And then I've got my big bar. So I need to lift up. So we'll give it a little lift here. Oh. Okay, we're going to 0. Then we'll move it. It's about 4 inches from first to the second position. How close should I go for? We're at -5. Okay, I'll try once more. It needs to come up a little bit more, just a touch. Okay. Okay, we zeroed it here now. And we're at 3, so we're out 3. We're getting down into the 0.00 category, so we're done. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you got something out of this. I didn't want to say who's right or who's wrong. I just wanted to show what is. Mitch and I like coffee. If you buy us a few coffees, much appreciated. Helps the channel to flow. And like, subscribe. See you next time. Take care.